It's always a major event when a new generation of long-haul trucks appears, as they usually take much longer to develop than cars. Mercedes laid the groundwork for its new generation Actros a decade ago. It took 5 years to develop the components and then test the vehicle for series production. Over 700,000 units of the previous model were sold around the world. To reproduce this global success story, Mercedes pays attention to regional differences during the development phase.
The markets all have different emissions norms, which proves challenging, says Georg Freiberg from Mercedes. For example, European countries have the Euro 6, which becomes an emissions requirement from 2014. For that, they must install special equipment in the vehicle, he notes. Some markets outside Europe have poor quality fuels with a high sulfur content, so they need to make allowances for that. And then there are countries whose tougher road conditions place increased demands on a vehicle's strength and stability. But he says they've more or less covered all that during testing. As part of the test, the new Actros racked up some 20 million kilometers on the roads and put in 3,000 hours in a wind tunnel. The track, with the sinus curves and washboard pavement, simulates poor road conditions. They jostle both truck and driver around, putting lots of pressure on the chassis. But the Actros is up to the job and suffers no loss of stability. With a truck that's over 2.5 meters wide and 16.5 meters long, safety plays a major role. The Actros boasts numerous assistance systems familiar to drivers of passenger cars, as the man from Mercedes explains. Georg Freiberg says Mercedes took all the previous safety features and brought them up to the latest standards, like active brake, known as Distronic in cars. In principle, Mercedes put all the features of today's cars into the truck. He mentions the lane departure warning, which produces a warning sound when the vehicle touches the line. Mercedes greatly improved the dynamics of the chassis, making the steering more precise and fine-tuning the springs and dampers. At the same time, Mercedes wanted to maintain vehicle safety and driving comfort. It's a big truck and needs to maneuver precisely on narrow country roads, at highway crossings, and construction sites. The colossal vehicle demonstrates its impressive maneuverability on the slalom course. In spite of the quick changes of direction, the tractor-trailer stays in its lane. The Actros' completely new interior provides more creature comforts. Its materials are more pleasant to the touch and make drivers feel at home. The new model features more storage compartments and a clearer separation between work and living areas. With its new 12.8-liter straight-six engine, the Actros is among the most fuel-efficient trucks in its class. Its 350 kilowatts of power and 2,300 newton-meters of torque give the motor pulling power to spare. At a truck stop along the Autobahn, we meet long-haul trucker Klaus Gelbe. What does he make of the new Actros? He's happy to take a peek at the cockpit and give us his first impressions.
He found it very convincing, as the vehicle is much roomier. He likes the storage compartments and that everything's easy to read. He especially likes this new adjustable steering wheel, which can be brought towards the driver and is easy to adjust. The instruments are also wonderful, he says. It feels almost like a car. The seat is excellent and roomy enough even for drivers with big feet like his. He feels it will make for pleasant driving. The Actros now boasts the multifunction steering wheel first developed for use in cars. Drivers can use it to operate the FleetBoard management service, which tracks fuel consumption, mileage, and vehicle maintenance. The new FleetBoard Eco Support analyzes the trucker's driving and provides direct feedback on his or her driving style. Klaus Gelbe thinks that's a good thing, from the fuel consumption standpoint alone. The FleetBoard Vehicle Management Service helps drivers use 5 to 15% less fuel. And given the distances many of these trucks travel, that adds up to quite a bit. After all, the Actros' new engines are supposed to be able to go for at least 1.2 million kilometers without needing a major overhaul.